Forbes magazine continues to be relentless when it comes to fighting Cardano, calling Charles Hoskinson a cult leader for the Cardano community. This is, of course, after they've already listed Cardano on their no good for nothing blockchain list released about 2 to 3 months ago. So again, I'm not sure what's going on there, but I want to talk about, as a part of today's video, the fact that we have RFK joining us at RareEvo taking place next week, in addition to deepen projects making big partnerships and a review of the growing Cardano ecosystem. What's up, Ada Nation? Welcome to Dapp Central, your home for everything blockchain and crypto. My name's Fareed. As a part of today's video, we've got a jam-packed news session when it comes to Cardano. First things first, network review or network update. And then I want to jump into the upcoming Cardano Summit, what we know about tickets and pricing. We've also got some updates when it comes to the Chang Hardfork and where we just currently stand in terms of readiness. We now have SPOs officially signaling that they're ready to go. And all that we're waiting on are different portions of governance committees, but then also centralized exchanges, where we have the first ever centralized exchange finishing the upgrade for Cardano node 9.1. Now, after general updates, we'll dive briefly into RareEvo. You won't believe it. We've got RFK, independent third-party runner for the upcoming presidential election, sitting down for a fireside chat with none other than Charles Hoskinson. So it seems to be that RareEvo continues to really raise the bar, raise expectations. And for anybody who missed out on it this year, hopefully this is enough for you guys to see that. Definitely, you should try to make it out next year. And of course, I know that there's expenses associated with it, but as we get ready to hopefully run into this bull run, this is a great opportunity to just grow your network and to really meet a lot of people that have contributed so far here in the ecosystem. Now, after that, we've got brief updates surrounding World Mobile. They've just landed a brand new partnership with Nuvola. I'll briefly highlight that there. I've got an upcoming interview with Raul de Benedettis, the co-founder of Nuvola, that'll be released here over the course of the next 24 to 48 hours. But then we've also got another partnership with a platform called Node Locker. This is run right now by the Cheeky Crypto team, Nick and Chris. They've actually hosted me on their channel. I need to return the favor and get them on here, but I'll break down exactly what that entails. Now, as we get ready to close out today's video, of course, there's always FUD here in the Cardano ecosystem. So we've got Forbes, who has notoriously targeted Cardano with a lot of false accusations and claims. The latest being that Charles Hoskinson is basically a cult leader. And if you're not familiar, we saw them basically harassing Cardano in the community, stating that Cardano is a zombie chain in an article that was released about 4 to 5 months ago. So I'm not sure what's going on at Forbes, but I want to break all of this down and, again, really sort of highlight everything that's been going on here in the ecosystem. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, and if it's your first time seeing me, again, my name's Fareed. Welcome aboard. I aim to basically provide you guys with all of the latest updates, news, highlights, and interviews here for everything going on in the Cardano ecosystem. If you appreciate content like this, please make sure to smash that thumbs up. It's really one of the easiest ways to support me as a content creator. Number 2, consider subscribing to the Dapp Central YouTube channel. And then number 3, if you have any questions, comments, or just concerns, then make sure to go ahead and leave them down below. Now, I'm also a single stake pool operator, so if you want to extend your support here on the channel, consider delegating with the official Dapp Central stake pool, which is stake pool ticker DAPP. Jumping right on into the first topic for today's video, we've got the weekly development report. Looking at the numbers there on the right-hand side, we've got 2 additional projects which have officially started building here on Cardano. In terms of Plutus scripts, now at 72,000 thanks to Axo. And then looking on the left-hand side, there are some of the key highlights. Again, I've got to pick up the pace just because of how many updates we have. We've got Lace, which is officially Chang ready. If you're not familiar with Lace, wallet developed by IOG, in addition now to the Nami wallet, by far the most adopted wallet or integrator wallet within the Cardano ecosystem. We've got some ongoing testing for Bitwise primitives. We've also got funding round number 12 for Project Catalyst, officially beginning the onboarding process. So I believe it's about 230 projects that were officially funded for the last funding round. Last but not least, we have the Cardano Days event taking place in Wyoming. Okay, moving right on over, we've got the upcoming Cardano Summit. I want to highlight 2 of the biggest events here in the Cardano community. First is by far the Cardano Summit put on by the actual Cardano Foundation. IOG is always in attendance, Emergo's in attendance, some of the biggest projects here in attendance. And of course, you've got crypto press platforms who also join in on the fun. Now, if you guys want to find out more about it, I'll leave the link to it down below. We've got the official VIP gala dinner tickets already sold out. It's a 2-day event. Day number 1, full of masterclasses. Day number 2, also full of masterclasses, especially early on during the day. But you've also got that VIP gala dinner, or that gala dinner where you can be a VIP, taking place at the night or during the nighttime with the closeout award ceremony. So again, I'll leave the links to this down below. But right now, you are able, I believe, to still get some of the early bird pricing. But that will definitely not last too much longer given how close the event is actually taking place. It'll be done, I believe, October 23rd and 24th, taking place in Dubai. Jumping right on over, we've got the official award nominations for the Cardano Summit taking place. This just opened up earlier today. You now have the ability to go ahead and nominate any contributors here within the space. So taking a closer look, and of course, I'll leave the link to this down below. We've got the nominations opening up here on the 9th. They close on the 20th. And then we've got the voting on Cardano ballot taking place on September 17th. And that lasts for about 2 weeks, closing on October 1st. And then we've got the actual awards taking place on the 24th. In terms of where this will actually be taking place, it's at a different location than it was last year. This appears to be taking place in Jumeirah, Fort Island, a mesmerizing ode to an ancient Arabia, which emerges as an irresistible setting for the gala dinner. Again, you can go ahead and purchase your tickets now. And then we've got some content from the award ceremony last year, some of the winners. And then we've got some of the different categories you can actually vote for. So that includes the Best Cardano Ambassador, Blockchain for Good, Standards or SIPs, DeFi and DEX, Developer and Tools, Educational Influencer, Marketplace, and Most Impactful SSPO. And rounding things out is NFT projects and self-sovereign identity solutions. That will do it there for general updates surrounding that particular event. Next, let's talk about the Chang Hardfork. So SPOs have officially signaled that they're just about ready, but I really want to pose a question to the community because there seems to be a little bit of confusion around what actual metric we need to be keeping track of. So if anybody else has more information about what actual metrics are required for this hardfork to take place, please leave a comment down below. I'd be more than happy to share that here on the channel. But what I found so far is from the Intersect documentation that in order for us to upgrade to Chang Hardfork version number 1, keep in mind there's 2 portions, we have to meet critical mass indicators, which include 70% of SPOs upgrading and 80% of exchange liquidity also upgrading to Cardano node version 9.1.0. Now, when it mentions 70% of SPOs, is that SPO liquidity or stake associated with SPOs, or is this referring to 70% of the actual total amount of stake pool operators that need to upgrade? That's 2 separate things. The first is if it's liquidity, that could potentially be met by the majority of the bigger stake pools upgrading first, because again, they hold more stake than some of the smaller stake pools. But if you're taking it from the perspective that it's the total number of stake pools, there's over about 2,900, almost 3,000 active stake pools right now. So getting 70% of them to upgrade would be about 2,300, maybe 2,400 total stake pools having to actually upgrade. So those are 2 completely separate indicators. And to really sort of add to a little bit of this confusion, we have the exchange readiness here. I think that one is pretty straightforward. We've got 3%, or excuse me, 3 exchanges, which are already equaling 5% of the total liquidity. Again, some of the biggest exchanges include Coinbase, Kraken, KuCoin, Bitfinex, etc. And that's actually listed here down below. I'll jump into that in just a second. We've got 15 exchanges currently in progress, equaling about 27% of the liquidity. And then we still have the majority, which have not yet started. So even though a lot of people are rallying about Chang kicking off here, keep in mind that there's 2 big pieces. Number 1 is SPOs, and the number 2 is the exchanges. Exchanges right now are dragging their feet, meaning that until they're done upgrading, the SPOs basically have to wait. But then also keep in mind, there's also even dApps building on Cardano, which are also included in some of these factors. So it's not just the SPOs, even though a lot of people are celebrating that. Nothing wrong with that, but do keep that in mind that it's a 2-step process with other pieces or other parties that also have to update. So this again is pretty straightforward here with the exchanges, but looking at the stake pool readiness here, this is highlighting that we're only 23% ready because we only have 731 stake pools out of about 3,100. Now, when we're looking at the stake, then we have 63%. So again, if anybody can provide more clarity, that would be really, really appreciated. If I take a look at a platform, for example, like Pool Tool, we can see here that the majority of blocks right now on the network, over 62%, are coming from nodes reporting version 9.1.0. And then if we take a look at the actual number of nodes reporting version 9.1.0, it says here 72%. Now, again, just comparing this 72%, if this is stake pools, that would then equal to about 2,400 stake pools that have upgraded. But comparing that to this year, I mean, this only shows that 731 stake pools have actually upgraded. So I'm not necessarily sure what this node reporting version actually is referring to when it mentions 9.1.0. So again, a little bit of confusion here. I would love to get more clarity from IOG, the Cardano Foundation, or whoever, just to really understand from the SPO perspective, what is that key metric that we need to keep track of. That will do it there for general updates surrounding the ecosystem. Let's move on over into the second largest Cardano-based community event, which is RareEvo. It's now only 6 days away. I've already got my bags packed. I've got my live stream set up ready to roll. I've got my plane ticket and my hotel room booked. Hopefully you do too. This is going to be a huge, huge event. We just got some breaking news that we've got presidential candidate RFK, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., joining the RareEvo event. Of course, you'll be having a fireside chat with Charles Hoskinson. What I love about this guy is that he's not scared to mix in with the crypto crowd. He showed up at Consensus, taking place in Austin about 2 months or 3 months ago now. And Charles actually flew out to Austin. He didn't attend Consensus specifically, but after RFK spoke at Consensus, he took some time to sit down and to meet with Charles Hoskinson. Now, Charles has openly endorsed RFK in prior content. And we've also seen another big personality here in the space who's also endorsed him, which I know Charles wants to connect with, and that is Joe Rogan. So Joe Rogan backing RFK, Charles Hoskinson backing RFK in opposition or as opposed to Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Now, RFK, to be honest, is facing an uphill battle. Obviously, as an independent or third-party candidate, he's got a lot less of the majority of the votes compared to Kamala and Trump. So, I mean, again, while it is good to see that, there are other options, we really have to rally the troops here because, again, his stance on crypto is wildly different than Kamala's, which she might actually walk a lot of her stuff back after if she does win the presidency. But then very similar to Donald Trump, I think he just has realized very quickly how to cater to the crypto community, right? So he's big when it comes to using certain buzzwords, engaging the crowds. But is he really going to act on it? That is yet to be seen. I know he was very vocal against crypto before some of his public spotlight here when it comes to the candidacy. I'm talking like way back in like mid 2015, 2016-ish, around that time. He wasn't as bullish as he currently is. So that said here, I'm going to be definitely sitting down, attending this particular chat here. By far, one of the biggest that we've had here within the crypto community. And of course, shout out to the entire RareEvo team for being able to snag or to book somebody as influential as RFK. Now, we also have JJ Seiler, the chief of staff, as well as Giorgio Zanetti, the CTO of the Cardano Foundation, sitting down for a fireside chat to basically talk about Cardano's growth and to reflect on all of the achievements up until now. Things are really, really beginning to heat up here within the Cardano ecosystem. Again, we've got governance. We've got these big events taking place here. We've got Charles Hoskinson in Argentina. We've got so much happening here. And that's just when we're taking a look at just Cardano. Now, hopefully we're in a macro bull run to where when a lot of this stuff really begins to heat up, Cardano will be there with a lot of the scalability. I'm talking about Hydra and all the throughput upgrades to be able to handle a brand new influx of users or brand new influx of community. Now, while we're on the topic here of Hydra and scalability here, if I can actually pull this up, I believe this was posted earlier by Input Output. And shout out to my guy Trim. He joined me on the channel here not too long ago to talk about Doom and Hydra. But we've got some more content here teasing the release of Hydra through the gameplay of Doom, which will be done at RareEvo. So I'll have my content there. I'm going to try to live stream, bring it to you guys as soon as I can get my hands on it. And again, if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, definitely consider doing so for all of the latest updates going on here in the ecosystem. Again, quick plug, check out that last interview here with Trim. It performed very well here on YouTube. A lot of people interested in learning about Hydra scalability and different options when it comes to how to make Cardano that blockchain that we all know that it can be, compared to other networks, for example, like Solana, Ethereum, etc., that really like to boast about transactions per second. This basically brings Cardano to a whole new level of its own. That will do it there for updates surrounding RareEvo. Next, we've got brief updates touching on World Mobile. So I just sat down with Raul de Benedettis, the co-founder of Nuvola, a DePIN aggregator here within the Cardano ecosystem. That video will be releasing over the course of the next 24 to 48 hours. This will be my second chat with them. Check out the first one if you guys want to find out more about it. But their 1-to-X model allows for anybody to pick up the Nuvola token, stake that in a stake pool or on a staking platform in order to earn node rewards for all of the different partners that Nuvola is partnered up with. The latest one, of course, being World Mobile. So it states here that Nuvola Digital has committed to securing an allocation of air nodes from batch number 2, drop number 1, providing their community members access to the sharing economy. So I believe they're now on 5 or 6 different partners. They partnered up with Iagon very first. They partnered up with Cornucopias, OrgFax, the Minutes Network, World Mobile, and I think that there's a couple of additional ones coming out. In my interview, we also discuss Nuvola Drive and their recent Project Catalyst funding round number 12 proposal, which was just funded for the collateralization hub. So the Nuvola team stepping up their game here. Stay tuned for that interview, and I'll definitely be asking the World Mobile team about this here at the upcoming RareEvo event. If you want to find out more about Nuvola, again, you can find out more about them by visiting nuvoladigital.io. Second partnership being done with Node Locker. So Node Locker is run and developed by the guys from Cheeky Crypto, fellow content creators here focusing on Cardano and other ecosystems. But they basically have another partnership with World Mobile to go ahead and enable easier access to nodes from World Mobile to their community, doing something very similar to Nuvola Digital, except they're doing it through the use of NFTs. So you can basically purchase an NFT that gives you access or rights to a node. And by you sharing, right, some of the content about Node Locker to other members as they join in, you can earn basically like a referral program. But then, of course, if you want to sell your NFT, you can do that. And then basically all the node rewards that would be earned or tied to the NFT would go to that respective owner. So easier access when it comes to DePIN through platforms like Node Locker as well as Nuvola. Now, their website is currently available at nodelocker.io. And as you guys can see here, they're still getting things ready, but they should be live within the next 15 days. And they've also partnered with Minutes Network, which is run by Josh Watkins, aka Mickey's younger brother. So big news there. Now, if you guys want to find out more about all of this great stuff, I'll be live streaming tomorrow with Clover Notes or Cal, also Rob LLAP, operator of the Trek Stake Pool. We'll be discussing the eSIM expansion for World Mobile. We'll be talking about those 2 partnerships I just mentioned, and then the release of AirNode batch number 2 with nearly 700 AirNodes going up for sale. Now, while I'm on the topic of live streaming, I'll also be live streaming with the Derp Birds team. I'll have Derp Bird Dave to bring out the Gold Rush or the Outpost platform, which allows for you to stake and earn different assets, including World Mobile. They're operating a World Mobile node and providing rewards through their staking platform, in addition to earning the Derp token, their native governance token, and the ADA token by staking or by holding their Outpost NFTs. So again, a lot of different ways to get exposure to different projects here. I'm excited to be breaking down and bringing you guys a lot of this news. Hopefully you guys find this to be helpful. Now, as we get ready to close out today's update, if you found any portion of today's video to be helpful, please make sure to smash that thumbs up. One of the easiest ways to support me as a content creator. If it's your first time stopping by the channel and you want more, consider subscribing. And last but not least, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave those down below. Again, I am an operator of the Dapp Central Stake Pool. Consider delegating with the pool in order to support the channel. Moving over into the very last topic here, we've got FUD coming in from Forbes. These guys do not sleep when it comes to FUDing Cardano. I'm not sure who they have on their payroll or who has them on payroll, but they continue to adamantly try to deny everything going on here in the Cardano ecosystem. Again, I mentioned governance, I mentioned security, decentralization. There's so many things I could bring up right now, but for the sake of time, I'll keep this brief. But we have this good for nothing blockchains list that was released about 4 or 5 months ago. And I mean, they wasted no time. I mean, XRP, huge, #1. And then of course, you've got Cardano ADA stating or noted as a Ethereum competitor launched in 2017 by crypto pioneer with a cult-like following. Now, what's interesting is that they love to use this word when they're talking about Cardano. So we've got an additional piece of news coming out here. Charles Hoskinson basically highlighting that a recent article released by Forbes. So we've got an article released by this guy here, breaking down the fact that Cardano, again, is a cult being run by Charles Hoskinson. So I'm just going to jump right on into this. If you guys want to maybe read this on your own, you're more than welcome to. I didn't pay much mind after this portion here about Cardano. Again, they don't waste any time. I mean, look how long this is. And look how quickly they attack Cardano. It's like in the first paragraph. Now, they don't mention Cardano anytime after that, but it's almost like they had to get that dig out there. So it states here that Cardano founder, Charles Hoskinson, is a cult-like leader, right, for fans of his Ethereum clone blockchain, now valued at $11 billion by crypto investors. So he basically starts off by highlighting how, impressive and elusive Bitcoin is, and how, it's the king, and basically what started this, which it technically is. But then it talks about Vitalik, the creator of Ethereum, and how his blockchain is worth 283 billion. And then, of course, they take the jab here, Charles, with the fact that he's a cult leader with a blockchain with only $11 billion. Well, that's okay. I think at the end of the day, when you take a look at fundamentals, you'll really begin to understand why Cardano has a cult-like following. The thing is people are here by their own choice. Nobody's forcing anybody to be in Cardano. If Cardano was as bad as people said it was, people would not be here. There's been these polls being put on by a crypto exchange. I'm forgetting. I think it might be Bitpanda. But they've literally been putting up polls for the past 2 weeks. Cardano has won every single poll. Cardano by far has the strongest community. And it's not by accident. It's because the type of mindset that IOG, Cardano Foundation, Emergo attract are those that are here for the tech, that understand that, yes, price will fluctuate up and down, but that this is a long-term game. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing. So after that particular article was released, X really stepped in and did its thing. So taking a look here, we've got a community note coming up right away associated with that article stating, this article labels Cardano as an Ethereum clone blockchain. That is false. I love X. Cardano has significant differences from Ethereum, to include a $45 billion hard cap limit, right? Nobody can come in and inflate the value of Cardano, very similar to Bitcoin. Nobody can come in and add an additional 1 million tokens to Bitcoin to their 21 million. It's a hard cap forever. The use of the extended UTXO model, so Bitcoin uses UTXO, Cardano has extended that, taking all of the security, but then adding smart contracts on top of it. Ethereum, on the other hand, yes, they've added smart contracts, but they've stepped away from the UTXO model with the account-based model, which, as we've seen, tends to be a little bit less secure with a lot of drains taking place on those ecosystems. Whereas on Cardano, that can't happen unless you actually sign the transaction. So little things like that these people forget to highlight in their articles. Instead, they want to focus on Charles and call him a cult-like leader. Now, it also talks about liquid staking, which Cardano had by design back in 2017. Where Ethereum is just finally getting liquid staking through their change to proof of stake. And that happened, almost 10 years after the initial launch of Ethereum. So they're finally, I think, coming to realize that what a lot of Charles said has come to pass. And this guy's a visionary, right? So when he talks, you listen. I definitely do so. And the next big thing that I see is interoperability through partner chains, which I'm really excited to hear more about from Charles, hopefully at RareEvo. In closing, it talks about efforts to provide governance rights to ADA holders, of course, with SIP number 69 coming out with the Chang Hardfork. So you guys do with that as you will. I wanted to provide you guys a brief update here. A lot of FUD coming at Cardano, but I think it's because a lot of people are scared. Let me know what you guys think down below. Is the FUD warranted? But I really want to thank you guys for sticking around and making it all the way to the end of this video. If you've made it here, please make sure to smash that thumbs up again. One of the easiest ways to support me as a content creator. If you guys want more, consider subscribing. And last but not least, questions or comments, leave those down below. That said, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.